Ja, herzlich willkommen zur neuen Ausgabe von SI Talk. Ich bin in Vancouver, wie gesagt, und ja, mein Job ist natürlich hier, interessante Interviewpartner zu finden. Avrupa ist bei uns bekannt aus mehreren Gründen. Sie haben mit einigen Firmen, die in Deutschland relativ viel machen, mit Cold Resources, Blackheat, Joint Ventures, und sie sind vor allem auch in Europa tätig. Neben mir ist Kuhn, er ist CEO vom Unternehmen, und wir fragen einfach einmal, was sich Neues tut. Thank you, Paul. Do you have time for me?
Joe. I sure do. Thanks. Happy New Year.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks for taking the time for me. Great story, Avrupa.
And hopefully this year was really a good year for resources. Then the last 4 or 5 years was terrible.
It's been really difficult. We've been maintaining progress because we are funded by our partners for the most part. We've got a joint venture, as you said, with Blackheath Resources at Kovash. It's a tungsten project. We have a joint venture with Colt Resources in the south of Portugal on a copper zinc project in the Pyrite Belt. And we have a joint venture with Burncut International in Kosovo on our Slovovo gold deposit.
And the most exciting project, I must say, for the last 6-9 months was for sure Kosovo.
Kosovo has been really exciting.
So great numbers, great drill results. So what's the next steps there?
Well, our partner Burncut has started. They've let us know. They've started on a pre-feasibility study.
Okay.
We're working on a resource estimate over there. It's a small but very high-grade gold deposit with a lot of potential for more ounces out there beyond what we're doing right now.
Do you do some work on other projects too?
We've got another project in Kosovo. It's called Metavit. It's a porphyry target. We haven't done very much on it. Burncut has supplied a little bit of seed capital to work on that, but right now we're in very, very early stages. We are working to put together a generative program in Kosovo. My chief geologist and I are figuring out how to do that, but we've got some targets in other parts of Kosovo that we'd like to see move forward. And to that matter, we're looking for joint venture partners for a generative program.
Okay. So the next news what will come out from Kosovo is the
next news in Kosovo hopefully will be some sort of indication on what amount of gold we have in the Slovovo project.
What is a good number?
Well, I'd like to say back of the envelope sort of calculations, it's going to be somewhere between 100 and 300,000 ounces at the surface, high grade, quite possibly mineable, open cut. But we have no real numbers yet. These are just things that geologists do.
This 100 to 300,000, is this a good number for you to say, okay, it's a good start, or is it?
It sounds like a small number, but it's a great start. It's because the gold is what we found in our drilling. The gold is very close to the surface. It's a great grade. It's somewhere between 5 and 10 grams at the surface. That's a easy solution for potential mining. What we really like about the Slovovo project is my geologist over there has figured that there's some real good targets that have not been drilled.
Okay. So the next big area in Europe is Portugal. So what?
Portugal, to be honest with you, Joe, is really our main target area. We're looking at potentially large million tons of copper zinc deposits in the Pyrite Belt. Pyrite Belt's been mined since before Roman times. There's reportedly 2 billion tons of sulfidic resource throughout the Pyrite Belt. We're looking for something big, really big out there, and our partner Colt Resources has bought into the project from the previous partner, and they're funding us right now on a 5,000, 6,000 meter drill program.
Okay. So when you expect that some drill results coming out?
Before PDAC, let's say we've got samples in the lab. We're expecting some results back any time now, but the complete results will take a few more weeks.
Okay.
We ran into Christmas and New Year's holidays, and not much work got done.
Okay. You have also projects in Germany. So do you do something, or is Germany really a place to be?
We have a tin gold prospect in the old Erzgebirge mining district down near Freiburg, and we're not doing much on it right now, but I've got to get to work on it this year. The permit has to be renewed, and I've got to do a little bit more exploration.
So in summary, we can say you're coming up in the next few weeks with drill results out of the joint venture with Kohl from Portugal, and some news coming out of Kosovo.
The big news, Joe, is going to be Kosovo. We don't have a resource estimate yet, but we have a really dedicated partner in Burncut who really wants to move this project forward. They're a private company, so they're going to do things their way. And
they are much quicker than maybe other ones.
They're going to be a bit quicker. Okay. Yeah, we're going to have some very positive support from them.
Okay, great. Two questions. One is, what do you think in general from the resource market when we see the bottom?
I've been thinking that we've been out of the bottom every so often for the last 2 years. Every little jump forward, every little announcement we make, we get a little bit of response, but then it disappears. I'm not equipped to say when we're going to jump out of it. We've been working the last 6 months thinking that the bottom of the market is coming soon. We've spent more money on IR than we have in the past. We've spent a fair amount of our own money on building up our properties. So if the market does turn around in the next 6 months, we'll be right out in front with name recognition and prospect recognition than a lot of other companies. We've spent a bit of money on doing this on purpose because we think that there's some opportunities coming up pretty soon.
Okay, and my last.
Let me back up here a minute. I hope we're right on this.
I hope too. So last question is: you are in Europe. Is Europe really a good place to be? All other companies, you know, the most companies are in Africa, Canada, Mexico, Australia.
Well, because of that, we think Europe is a really good place to be because we're really the only prospect generator in Europe, working in Europe full time. We've got 2 really good jurisdictions, Portugal and Kosovo. Germany looks to be a promising jurisdiction if we had some time and money to work on our project there. There are some other places within Europe that people are not really working at, and we think we're in a good position there. We like being in Europe. We like being in places that other people have not worked at. There's a lot of data available. There's a lot of old historic mining that we're following on. Our business model is predicated in working in old mining districts that have a lot of old data, and Europe's got a lot of old mining districts.
Yeah, for sure, that's good.
We have talking about Roman times.
Yeah, maybe we have also old mining universities, so it's a lot of stuff is there. But in the last 50 years, I must say, not really. The people look to Europe. So is Europe maybe a little bit underexplored, especially with modern technologies?
Absolutely. And this is why we're there. Is we're all geologists at Avrupa. We're thinking kind of guys. We're looking for new ways to look at old stuff. And then the reason for going into these old mining districts is, one, there's mineralization there. 2, there's a lot of old data, which allows my 2 geos standing over there to think about it a little bit differently and go through the data. They've got a lot of things that they can work on. And in Portugal, we're successful because we redid the geology in our district and basically drilled in a different direction than all the previous workers. And pretty much the same in Kosovo. We went through the area there. Nobody had bothered to look at some of these places. We found an outcropping Gossen on the Slovovo-Projekt, and these sorts of things come about when we have geologists in the field. Europe has not seen much modern exploration, meaning the last, say, 50 years, maybe even 20 or 30 years. So we're going back to old areas with new ideas, and that's why we've been successful.
Okay, thank you, Paul, for the update. Good luck with the next numbers.
keep coming with us. We're out there. We're moving forward, and Europe's going to be a good place to be.
Okay, great. Thank you for the update. Ja, das war ein Update von Avrupa. Kosovo ist ja ein großes Gebiet, wo Sie jetzt auch eigentlich mit diesen neuen Daten kommen. Also es kommt jetzt eine Ressourcenschätzung. Das Gute ist, Sie sind ja ein Projekt-Generator, wie es so heißt. Das heißt, Sie haben Projekte, haben einen Joint-Venture-Partner. Der Joint-Venture-Partner zahlt für die Exploration. Sie haben relativ viele Projekte im Kosovo, in Portugal, aber auch in Deutschland. Sie sind auf Europa fokussiert und Kosovo kommt mit einer Ressourcenschätzung raus und in Portugal wird gerade gebohrt. Das heißt, wir werden in den nächsten Wochen, Monaten einigen Newsflow sehen, was natürlich sehr gut ist. Und wenn das dementsprechend passt, sehen wir dort natürlich auch dann dementsprechende Entwicklung im Aktienkurs. Ich habe ihn dann noch gefragt, was ist seine Erwartung zum Rohstoffmarkt. Er hofft, dass innerhalb der nächsten 6 Monate der Markt seinen Boden findet und von dort sind sie eigentlich gut positioniert, dass sie beim nächsten Aufwärtstrend natürlich dabei sind. Und ich habe ihn auch noch gefragt, ist Europa eigentlich ein gutes Pflaster zu sein, um Rohstoffe zu suchen? Ist Europa unterexploriert? Und er sagt ganz klar, in den letzten Jahrzehnten wurde in Europa weniger exploriert, schon gar nicht mit modernen Technologien. Es gibt aber sehr viele Daten, auf die man zurückgreifen kann und die Analysten jetzt anschauen, also die Geologen anschauen und man kann dort mit sozusagen neuen Ideen diese alten Daten und neuen Projekte natürlich aufarbeiten. Also eine interessante Sache. Sie halten sich auch sehr, sehr gut in dem Markt gegenüber den anderen Markt und wenn die natürlich mit guten Daten kommen und der Markt dreht, sind die natürlich in der Pole Position. Das war es aus Vancouver von Avrupa.